Okay, we'll start. Welcome all. Thanks for joining us in the monthly huddle, right? So we'll be having this monthly huddle every month. So the agenda of this monthly huddle, right? So we'll see what is the agenda of this monthly huddle. I think we had the same huddle last month, April. So we had a good discussion on about Intune. So we'll have okay. So the agenda will be talking about what are the recent things happened on Apple ecosystem, any updates, new updates surrounding what are the MDM tools we have and anyone release new updates. So we'll be discussing about those updates and then we'll be talking about one particular tool, how we can use those tool and all the stuff. And then next will be an open forum. So it will be an open discussion. Anyone want to have any questions, anyone want to share any information, the forum is open to all. So you can share all your informations, knowledges, and you have any troubles, how you resolved it, you have any challenges, whatever you want to share, you can share it. It is up to you. It is open to you, all of us. Right. So I think MacAdmins India, right? We established in 2009. So we are in various platforms. We are in Telegram, Link, Slack, YouTube. And we're also in Jam of Nation user group. So our mission is to build a vibrant community of Apple IT professionals, right? And then we can solve each other problems and elevate our knowledge and experience. If anyone not joined in Mac admins group, and if you wish to join, you can just scan this QR code. I'm not sure why my mouse pointer went. Right. Okay, you can scan this QR code to join us. So we also have our YouTube channel. You will get all this information when you scan. So what are the platforms we are in? It will give you the URLs of our LinkedIn. We are in LinkedIn. So MacAdmins India. So just follow us. And then we are also in YouTube channel. Just subscribe your YouTube channel. All our recordings, all our tech sessions and recordings will be available in our YouTube channel and then a LinkedIn page. And then we also have a website, macadmins.in. So it has contents and information, what when we'll conduct session and what are the previous sessions that happened, and all those information. And we also in Slack at MacAdmins India, right? So have a look on it. So I'll just keep this slide for a few seconds. So if anyone wants to join, you can scan this QR code. Okay, I will move on to next slide. Yeah. So okay, so scan this to join us. Previously, I think the QR code gives all the URLs which we are in. This is sorry, this is a QR code to join in the Telegram community. We have a huge Telegram community of more than 300 people in the Telegram. So next we'll come into a month. First topic: what are the recent changes happened in this month, or what are the recent announcement, or any new things happened in Apple ecosystem in this month? We'll look into it. First one we had an Apple introduced iPad Pro with 11 inches and 13 inches with M4 chip. So M4 chip first comes with iPad. I think how many of you have seen the event which happened on May 7th, so where Apple announced the new iPad, which comes with M4 chip. And we also have a new iPad Air, which again comes with 11-inch and 13-inch with an M2 chip. So they announced iPad Pro with the M4 chip and then iPad Air with M2 chip. So if anyone didn't get a chance, please go and have a look at the event, which has happened on May 7. It is available in app. Even Apple also now created a YouTube channel. I'm not sure how many of you are aware. Previously, yeah, Apple previously has a YouTube channel, but they created Apple developer YouTube channel. So it has a lot of content like last year WWDC. Previously, it was available only on the app. And then now it is available on YouTube. So just go and subscribe to Apple Developer Community, Apple Developer YouTube channel, and then you can able to see the previous year WWDC, and then even this year WWDC. We also will be the videos will be posted in an Apple Developers YouTube channel. And this event is also still available in Apple YouTube channel. I guess you can just have a look into it, or it's also available in Apple site. So if anyone missed to watch this event, please have a look into it. And then they also announced a new Apple Pencil Pro with few of the previously we have double tap, and then you can do a barrel roll, squeeze, and then now Apple Pencil is included in Find My, right? And then uh, the new Apple Pencil Pro they announced. Please have a look into it. These are the new products which announced by Apple in last event. So this is Apple security updates, no changes. We didn't receive any updates for a longer time. So last update we received on, if I'm not wrong, it's on 25th of March. April also we didn't receive any new releases. I guess Apple released RC for iOS candidate for iOS and iPadOS. 14.5 RC was released a couple of days before, if I'm not wrong. I got a mail from the Apple seed that RC candidate was released, but I didn't see any RC candidate for macOS. So we still have in beta 4, 17.5 beta 4. So we can expect in couple of days or in a week, we will get macOS 14.5, because the iOS RC candidate, because once the RC candidates was released, immediately the next release will be the public release. So we can expect it. iOS also we can expect in maybe in coming days we'll have new version of iOS and iPadOS 13.5. macOS also we can expect, and then we'll see what is included and what are the improvements and what are the CV security updates it is fixed in the newer version. Again, there is no change because we still have macOS 14.4, 14.4.1. There is no changes into it, so we'll just skip this slide.
Just to add a point, 14.5 RC got released actually 2 days before.
Oh, thank you, Sumit. So if RC is released, you can expect anytime, maybe in this week, we'll have an 14.5 release will be planned. It will be released for public. So what is new? I think we have a new version of Jamfro 11.4.2, if I'm not wrong. So what is new? They announced what are the improvements they announced? Is it is compatible for Vision OS. So I'm not sure anyone has using Apple Vision Pro. So it will be compatible to enroll Apple Vision Pro, and then they make some few changes in the global end user experience settings for app installers. Previously in app installers, JAMF app catalog, in app installers, you need to create what is it, the notification for every apps. Now you can create it in a single place, and then you can use a template for all the apps. Previously, you need to, for each app, you need to create, okay, what is the notification you need to give, and how long the notification it needs to be done for each. Suppose you are deploying for 10 applications, you need to do it in 10 times. But now you can do it globally one time, and then you can use those like a kind of a template. You can use this for all those apps which you need to want to show this information. And then they announced Graph API support for SMTP server. Previously, JAMF can be integrated with SMTP server for sending an emails whenever any changes happen on smart groups or some. You can integrate JAMF and SMTP servers to initiate emails from JAMF. So there are a lot of use cases for available. But previously, we'll be using a username and password to integrate. But if I'm not wrong, there are a lot of security team from different organizations was opposing it because they feel it is because it won't support an Office 365. You need to create a service account and you need to integrate, and they feel it is not secure much. So to overcome this, Microsoft JAMA announced that Graph API support. We have a complete documentation how to create, how to configure, and how to integrate. You need to create an enterprise application, and then you need to use those secret, and so it is more secure. So if anyone wants to integrate, if not integrated, you can follow this step. And if anyone is already integrated, please check if it is possible for you to migrate if your time permits in your environment to do this stuff. Just have a look into it, how the new configuration look. But it's up to you whether you want to migrate, but people who want to integrate it newly, please follow this method, using the Microsoft Graph API instead of using a username and password, because it will be more secure. And then JAMF admin will be depreciated with 11.6. We won't get any more JAMF admin. So Apple announced a new tool called JAMSync. You need to use those JAMSync to upload your packages, and then what is it, mounting, sharing between distribution points and all this stuff. You guys need to use a new tool called JAMF Sync. And JAMF, we had a few database errors. I think couple of, even in Telegram channel, I think we have issues play that when you open a JAMF, it will comes with an error of 5 HTTP error 503. So it is a bug. So, and then it has a product case PI, and then it was fixed in 11.4.2. So if anyone is not upgraded to 11.4.2, please upgrade it. So these are the new updates we have in JAMF for this month, and we'll see what are the new updates we have in other MDM. So in Intune, so first one is the most important one, platform SSO is available on public preview. So it is only supported on Intune. JAMF is yet to support platform SSO. So if you are using Intune, please have a hands-on, please try it and let us know how this experience works and how it impacts and what are the changes it happens. And then Microsoft also announced remote help. So I think you might have known JAMF remote management, right? So we have those. JAMF announced it, and then now Intune also announced and remote help on Mac OS with Microsoft Intune. You can able to take any Mac devices remote using this tool. So if it is enrolled in Intune, so previously we used some third-party tools to take the machine remote and do troubleshooting. Now it's all integrated with your MDM. JAMF also has this. JAMF has remote assist, and Intune also have remote help, and then you can utilize the same feature. You can able to take remote of any device using this. It is announced by Intune. So if anyone is using Intune, please have an hands-on. And then Intune announced what is it, a roadmap that deploying DMG and unmanaged pack app enhancement for macOS. Now we have a lot of struggles, if I'm not wrong, in deploying packages via Intune, because the packages needs to be signed and all the stuff. So Intune, Microsoft announced a roadmap that they'll be having some enhancement on those stuff. It will be available. It will be, you can get more information on June about this. So please let us know, people who are using Intune, how your experience, and then how this stuff helps. So it'll be helpful for a lot of other peoples as well. So when you try it, and then share your information when how this tools look, what are the challenges you had in it, and then how easily it works. And then Simple MDM announces support for DDM. So declarative device management, Simple MDM is announced that it will be supporting declarative device management. And then in Fleet, so Fleet announced this is a very important feature, which I think all the MDM needs to do this. They announced the OS update and auto scheduling feature. It means the OS updates, what the Fleet will do is it using AI and all the stuff, right? So just have a look, just go to internet and search for about it. They have a good article about it. Please read about it if you have time permits. So I'll just explain you now. So what Fleet does is, though they using some feature and AI tool, it integrated with MDM. So it automatically creates a schedule in the user calendar. It'll identify when the user calendar is free, right? And then creates a event in that particular time for an, okay, Mac OS will update on this particular time on that. Say example, your calendar is jam packed for on Monday, so it won't happen on Monday, and then Tuesday you will be available. Your calendar is free from, say example, from 3 to 4. You don't have any meetings on or anything assigned to you or anything even added to you on the particular time 3 to 4. Automatically, Fleet will create a system event on 3 to 4 and say calendar update in your calendar that macOS update will happen at 3 to 4 on the 3 to 4. Your OS will get updates, machine will restart, and then you can use, so that your work will not get affected. Suppose if you are in important meetings or something, it won't get affected. So automatically Fleet will find when you are free from your calendar, and then create a schedule on the particular time on when, what is it? It will auto schedule it. And then whenever it is scheduled, it automatically restarts your machine and then install the OS updates. So it is a great feature, right? I hope other MDMs also need to have those features. So please have a look into it whenever you have time about it. They have a good article about it, but I'm not sure anyone using Fleet here. But just an information for all of you that the particular MDM has so and so features. Okay, so next one is we have something called a new tool, which is available. It is again an open source tool we call SOFA, which is mentioned by simple organized feed for Apple software updates. So it is a kind of a JSON file. So what it gives it will always give an information about an X product data, OS updates, and CVEs, right? So normally when you can also able to see this information in JAMF or any other MDM tool in your inventory, but you won't know which is latest version, right? So you guys know about the OS updates, right? Because everyone use, okay, what is the latest version? We say 14.4.1, but if you ask someone ask you what is the latest version of X product data, we don't know this information, whether it is two. I'm just giving you whether it is 2191 or 2192. What is the latest version? Because we will not always look into it when Apple will not announce when they are releasing X product data. And then also CVEs, what CVE is fixed, what CVE is still unknown. You won't get this information, but this tool is very useful. What you can do is you can create an extension attributes, and then you can check, you can able to identify whether the device has the latest X product version or not, or whether the device has any unpatched CVEs or not. So you can able to create an extension attributes, and then you can able to find. So when you create an extension attributes, it will your extension attribute will look up what version is currently installed in your machine, with, and also check is what is latest available in internet from this JSON file, which is available on, which is hosted on the SOFA site. And then it will compare and then verify whether your machine has the latest version or not. And then it will give the information whether it is pass or so you can create. One good thing is you can create extension attribute for macOS CVE check. So it will give you whether there is any CVEs which is not fixed in your machine. It gives those information, and then how many 0 days CVEs are there, which is not fixed in your device. You can able to see those information. It will give those information in an extension attribute. So it will be easy. So instead of you looking into multiple platforms and multiple tools to see which CVEs it's fixed, which CVE is not fixed. So this will be easy for you to create an extension attributes and then integrate with JAMF. So it will be easy for you to pull out a report and see whether, okay, you can just create a smart group and see how many devices has the old version of X product, and then you can act accordingly, right? And then it also have a macOS compatibility check. We use a lot of what is it, rejects, complicated rejects, right, to create a smart group to identify which particular hardware is compatible to which particular uh, OS version. We will do a lot of it available in reject. Now it is very easy. So you can create an extension attributes. The extension attribute scripts are also available in the SOFA site. What it is, it is in GitHub. So you need to just copy and paste the extension attributes and create it. So it will give those information. So previously, I'm not, as you aware, we do compatibility check. Okay, we have someone have older version of hardware, and then whenever new version of macOS release, we will create a complicated regex. And then if you miss one or two like commas or numbers, your smart group will not work. So if anyone have such cases, please go and have a look onto this macOS compatibility check extension attributes. So it'll be easy for you. So that's what SOFA does. Another one is Microsoft Auto Update. There are a lot of changes happened. If anyone is using Microsoft Auto Update preferences to update, deploy any configuration profiles on JAMA for any other MDM tool, there are a lot of changes happened. There are a lot of preference files. The keys are depreciated and new keys were announced. So please have a look into it and make the modification accordingly. There are a lot of different. Say one example is, I think someone have faced the issue. Even they have posted in a Telegram channel that peoples are often getting a note data or the data notice that dialog appears every time, and then every time user acknowledges, but still the dialog appears again and again. That a privacy notification, right? So even though the user clicks on OK, but again and again it keep on appears because they might have used the key called required and optional data. It was the old key, but they need to use it to required and data only to stop those preference. And then there are a lot of changes happened in your keys as well. Previously, you have update check frequency key, but now it is changed to update check interval. So it is a key how frequency you want to check the updates. So if you're using this key, it won't work anymore because the key got changed to update check interval. And then there are few keys that depreciated how to check. And then if I'm not wrong, you guys will have an application dictionaries. You will add the team IDs on each for each application. Those keys are depreciated now. And then there are some new keys are added like enable fallback channel and disable opt-in notification, extended logging, guard against app modification so that anyone can able to modify your app, and then update ready reminder interval hours. This is the new key for those how to check. So there are some keys got updated, some keys got depreciated. So if you are using those Microsoft auto update configuration profiles in your environment to update your Microsoft products, please revisit it and see what keys are using. And then if you want to change those keys, please change it. And then deploy a new configuration profile. There are a lot of keys, so just have few information, but there are a lot of keys got changed. So please have a look into it and then change your configuration profile accordingly. So and then Citrix and Mac Stadium. So Citrix has announced a public tech preview availability of the new VDA for macOS. So now Citrix has announced support for macOS desktop as a virtual machine. So, but Citrix Mac Stadium will be delivering the private clouds. So who wish to deploy those Citrix VDA? So how you are using Windows on your Citrix machine, you can also use your Mac OS on your Citrix devices. So whoever has Citrix, whoever using Citrix, so you can also reach out to your vendors on or your team who is managing Citrix and tell them, so these are the features available. So what is it? The Mac Stadium. I'm not sure how many guys you have heard about Mac Stadium. Mac Stadium is providing those what is it? A cloud Mac desktop for a longer period of time. So whenever you need a Mac, so it will be mostly useful for the people who's doing a deployment testing and on all the stuff. They need multiple hardwares to test because and then they can just get one cloud machine in Mac Stadium and then they can use a machine. So it is not a virtual machine, right? Like how the Windows environment, it is a physical machine hosted in a what is a data center by Mac Stadium, and each one will be allocated in different physical Mac devices. You won't get, it is not possible to do a virtual environment, but that's a difference between a Windows and Citrix. In Windows, if you're using, you have one virtual server and multiple Windows virtual images will be hosted, and then it will be allowed to a lot of peoples. But here, it is a physical machine hosted in Mac Stadium data center, and then using Citrix, you can take a remote of those. It will be a similar feature how we are using Windows on Citrix. Now Citrix and Mac Stadium have integrated and announced this feature. So you can utilize it and you can also pass on this information to whoever need in your organization or someone they might, because there are a lot of organizations who's required, they don't want to get a physical Mac machine because it will be transferred between multiple people and they want to have a look into uh, a virtual Mac devices. So if you have any such cases, now it is available for you guys, so you can use it. So it is available via Citrix. So you need to contact your Citrix and then they can enable it for you. So you don't need to contact Mac Stadium because Citrix will do those for you and then they will give you a VDA, so you can use Mac OS as a virtual uh, machine, how you're using Windows. But one difference is, so if you figure a 10 Mac machine, 10 physical Mac machines will be available in Mac Stadium data center, and you're just accessing it remote. It's not a virtual Mac OS. Okay, and then Jamf named CVI numbering authority. So now Jamf can now seamlessly submit and update CVE records to CVE list, right? So whenever there's any security updates or any breaches or anyone find any issues in Jamf, so they can update the CVE records. Jamf can now update the CVE records and give a CVE numbers, and then inform the community of potential issues to help reduce an impact and vulnerability. And even if someone of us found some issues or vulnerabilities with JAMF, we can also report back, and that also will be converted into CVEs. Previously, we have a vulnerable discovery program in JAMF, but whenever any vulnerability are discovered, it will not be published to the open, what is it, the entire community or in the internet. It will be published only to JAMF, and JAMF will fix it. But now, if there's any vulnerabilities discussed, it will be created as CVE, and anyone in public internet can able to see those CVE information, what vulnerability is associated with JAMF. So it is more transparent now. So it is good for all of us and good for security. And X product. So I just give you a small intro about X product because I feel it is necessary. It was introduced in 2009. So I'll tell you why. The next slide will you have the information why we are talking about X product now. So it was introduced in 2009 as part of macOS 10.6. So what X product will do is it detect and alert users if there is any malware was found in your macOS. That's how it is introduced. But it was evolved a lot of things still in macOS Sonoma in last 15 years, right? So now we have previously we also have a tool called MRT, but it was depreciated. And then now we have X product is more evolved. So X product now have three main components. One is called X product app, which detects a malware using Yara rules. So whenever an app first launches, changes, or updates its signature, so X product will do a scan and check for any malware is available. And we have one more component called X product remediator, which is proactive and can both detect and remove malware with regular Yara scan. So whenever it is detected any malware, so automatically the X product remediator will remove those malware. It means remove those application from your device. And we have one more component called X product behavior services, which is monitor system behavior in relation to critical service. Suppose how your system behavior, how your CPU behaves, how your memory, it will all monitor it. So because it is an inbuilt malware tool or we call it as antivirus tool or whatever it is, we have inbuilt in macOS, right? And then how you have a signature for every antivirus which gets updates daily. Similarly, Apple will also updates this signature, that what we call as X product version, right? So whenever new signature comes, X product version, Apple will update an X product version will get increased. Like how we have a digital signature in antivirus, similarly we have a signature we call it X product. It has some numbers 2192, 2193. Whenever a new version of X product relation comes, it will automatically the signatures, the numbers also will Apple will update, but we will not know. Normally, Apple will not announce publicly what signature is content, what malwares they're going to remove. Apple will not announce it publicly, and we will also not get any information about when this X product version is getting updated. It all happens silently in the backend, right? So it is kind of an inbuilt antivirus tool which we have. Okay. So why we are talking about X product now? Because there was what is it, a kind of a tug war is going between the two Apple, and then there is one more called ad load malware. So what does ad load malware will do is it will hijack your search engine results and inject its own ads, and then get what is it and get money or because it injects its own ad, and people, if you watch that particular ad, and they will get paid, right? And then it may also collect private information. That was this ad load malware will do. So Apple rolled out and 74 new rules to its X Protect malware signature listed in version 2192, right? And then it also what is it? It it's a huge chunk. Previously, we had only approximately 200 rules. So Apple recently rolled out 74 new rules to eliminate this ad load malware in the Mac machine. Suppose if it finds, it will remove. So it rolls out new signature kind of in term of antivirus, the new rules to find this ad load and then remove it. And then now we have total of again they what is it announced another 15 some rules to eliminate this ad load to find and remove it. So the total X product rules currently we have is 289 in version 2193. Apple have done a lot of stuff, created a lot of rules or the signatures to detect this ad load malware and then remove it from the Mac machine. But still, we found new versions of add load which awards the X product signature. And then the most important thing is it is signed with Apple developer certificate, and it is also notarized. So even though Apple does a lot of things, but still add load malware is evading the X product signature. So please pass those information, ask your users to not not every environment is safe, right? So even a Mac or even it is not safe, but Apple yet to come with new versions of rules and the new X product to completely migrate it. And one thing, so it is signed with Apple developer certificate and it's also notarized, right? That is one thing you guys need to know. If what happen if Apple found it, so they will, what is it, block the Apple developer certificate, and then the ID which is used to get from Apple developer certificate, and then they'll be canceling the notarized, and then they'll be canceling those signed certificates. Apple is there to do it, right? And then we also expecting a new set of rules to detect those new versions of ad load. So it is kind of, what is it? Uh, Even Apple release it, and again, AdLoad is releasing new version to avoid the new rules. So they keep on emerging, right? So we need to be more vigilant in the digital world. That's what the information I want to pass on. So that's why we've seen what is X product. So even though Apple is rolling more and more signatures, the malwares, the peoples, the hackers, they are evolving more, and then they are avoiding from Apple X product signatures. So that's why sometimes it is also, yeah. So you want to have an additional security of using what is it, like Microsoft Defender or any other antivirus softwares in your environment, right? So we have a new vulnerability on privilege, or is it compliance privilege escalation? I'm not sure how many of you using those the new tool, which is the compliance tool, which has a privilege escalation. It has a vulnerability, and then it was fixed. It was affected version was version 1.3, and then resolved version was 1.3.1. So if anyone is using those tool to create your compliance and all the stuff, compliance editor privilege. I'm not sure if anyone is using those compliance editor uh, tool. It has a vulnerability, and then it affected in version 1.3, and then it resolved in version 1.3.1. So if anyone using this tool, please use the latest version. And then this is a CVE of this. If you have a time permits, please search the CVE in Google. There is a blog which explains how the particular person find it, the vulnerability, how he reported to JAMF, and how JAMF responded it. There is a blog. If you time permits, please have a look into it. Just search with the CV number or search with the compliance policy privilege escalation. So you will get those blog. Or it is also available in our MacAdmins news. I think every week, Armin is publishing a blog which has caused this information as well. Okay, and then there is a new vulnerability called Cuckoo, which is a malicious master binary, which was detected as a Spotify music converter file. Right, so I'm not sure how many of your clients or how many of your people are using Spotify. So they find out that what is it? It called a Spotify. It's not actually in Spotify, but there is another app called as a Spotify converter, which is called Dump Media Soft Spotify converter. So it will convert whatever songs you're playing for Spotify into one MP3, which can store in your local machine. There is some converter, and in those converter they find this malware called Cuckoo, and it was behave like a crossword between a spyware and a info stealer. So please have look into it. So if anyone using this, have a look into it, like Dump Media, Spotify Music Converter. Just search for this application name in your environment. If anyone using it, please alert them. So events. So what are the events we coming up? We have MacAD.UK event is coming on May 23 and 24, and then we have our own WWDC on June 10, and then we have a MacAdmins conference, PSU MacAdmins conference on July 9 to 12. These are the upcoming events in Apple ecosystem or in Mac ecosystem, right? So I guess both the events post the events, it will be updated in YouTube. Please have a look into it. So tool talk. So we'll talk about a tool, Jamf Routine. Uh, and it was announced, right? It does a lot of automation, right? So we can do a lot of like, so whenever you just log into jam14.com and then you can see the template, you can integrate with your Jamf and team. So whenever a new enrollment happens, you'll automatically get a notification on your team's channel. Not only new enrollment, there are a lot of couple of things like whenever a smart group goes modified. So you have a device complaint smart group, and when you find whenever device is moved out of smart group or new device is added to smart group, you will automatically get a notification on your team's channel. So it is very easy. So it is not complicated. You just need to click few clicks and then give those your channel webhook URL and then click done. So it is very easy to do those stuff. And also you can get a notification if you're using Slack, you can also get this notification in Slack. So, and then you can also redeploy Jamf management framework if the devices fall into a particular smart group. So you need to select your smart group and then you need to click on configure which smart group you need to select and then deploy. So whenever your mission moves to a particular smart group, automatically your Jamf management framework will redeploy on those devices, right? So you can also rename your mobile device, restart your mobile device. These are the few templates we have in Jamf Routine, but we are hoping that we will get few more templates in the coming future. So please have a look into it. It's very easy to integrate. Previously, it is very complicated to integrate Jamf and Teams. We need to create a webhook. We want to go to Jamf, create a webhook, and do all the stuff. Create a complicated Microsoft in Power Automate. We need to create a complicated rules and then all the stuff. But now it is very easy. Okay, you can able to do it in a couple of clicks, right? So please have a look into Jamf Routine, and Jamf is also have a documentation of how to do this, how to integrate. You need to first integrate Jamf Routine with your Jamf Cloud Server. You can also integrate multiple Jamf. You have multiple instance. You can integrate multiple instance, and then you need to integrate your themes, and then you need to do this template, and you can configure it, right? So can do automation. And then we have very few templates as of now, but we are expecting the Jamf will release more templates to us. So we'll look into it. But it is very easy to configure, right? So uh, it is not complicated at how it's previously. Just you need to give the URLs and which team group you want to use, which smart group you want to use, and all the stuff. Maybe very easy to do it now. Just have a look into it. And if anyone have any queries, please reach out to me. Yeah, so now it is forum is open to all. So if anyone wants to have any discussion or want to share anything, it is open to you all.
Anyone has used DDM feature to update the Mac OS?
DDM.
I think
I
we
see.
tried that from for our end, but it didn't really work well for us. Not sure why, but I'm using the only nudge to do that.
No, I'm using DDM. DDM is
Okay.
my primary tool. Previously,
Oh,
I had Super, but I removed Super completely from my environment. I'm using DDM, and then
update.
it it works.
how do you exclude some member if you want to do that?
No, you cannot exclude. You are pushing those software update to only the particular smart group. So whoever device you want to do it, you're doing it. You're not excluding anyone. So if you want to exclude, then that particular people should not be available on that smart group. You need to create a different smart group and push those configuration only to those whoever need it.
That's the challenge actually. So we want to exclude some people. I know we
You
can
can
we
you
can
can create
exclude
a
in deferral group, right? In deferral policies, we can do that.
no.
But
What
that's
you
the
can do it.
challenge.
You need to
Yeah.
create a smart group. So you need to create a smart group. For example, you have say example 10 users you want to exclude. Create a smart group with all the users, create one more static group with those 10 users, and say in your smart group add one more condition: computer group is not member of this particular smart group, so automatically those people will be excluded from your smart group, so they won't be available in your smart group. So how we are creating your smart group, it, and then you're deploying, because DDM is not a configuration profile which you deploy or policy which you deploy. We'll be sending a remote command. So which smart group we are sending, those devices will receive those DDM configurations. Or you can create multiple smart groups and then to exclude peoples, and then you can deploy only to them. So how this is based on what criteria you're using in your
The
smart group.
big challenge is VP or CEO also
Yeah,
fall
yeah,
under lower
yeah. What
versions, right?
Yeah, what you can do is you can create a one more static group, say VIP users, and add all the VIP users in the static group, right?
Yeah,
And then
but
in when
in a
hmm,
one time in using the DDM, we only can select a one smart group, right? We can't exclude the static group, right?
no, in your smart group you need to exclude. Yeah, in your smart group,
Yeah.
what you can do is create a one more
So
criteria.
the thing
Complete.
is what we have a multiple VPs and all, right? Like 200 plus users, we need to add and we need to see all the time to
Hmm.
add those member, right, in a smart group to exclude, not to apply the DDM on those devices, right? That is the challenge, and for that reason, actually, you know, I'm forced to use the nudge only.
No, how you're excluding nudge those users?
And nudge has that configuration profile, right? So in the configuration profile, we can simply exclude them.
Now, how will you that you are adding a particular smart group or static group to exclude, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Use the same group. See, you are creating a smart group, say deploy updates, right? And then in that smart group, go to criteria and add computer group is not member of, put this
The
your
particular
exclusion
static group,
smart
right?
group. In particular static group, and then those peoples will not be in your scope. Those devices will not be in your scope. You can use it.
Yeah, definitely. That. But I was trying it. It didn't work. Actually, I didn't get the notifications to
Yeah, I'll
the
not say
DDM
DDM.
notification, right? The
Yeah,
software update notification, which comes the right of corner, right?
yeah.
That
So I
that
I will
doesn't appear.
Yeah, I will not say DDM is working perfectly 100% because it is a new tool and it is still in beta, right? So it has some limitation. Even I have few issues. I raised a case with both Jamf and Apple, but I will ask you guys to try it, and then it will have an issue, and raise a case back to Jamf and Apple that you find those issues, because when more people raising an issue, we get
Yeah, I had a
so,
discussion with Apple, right? They are
yeah.
saying you can talk with your MDM owner, right? So MDM
No,
platform. So
they
Apple won't help on this. I think
no
we
no
need to
no
talk
yeah.
with Jamf or
No, see, I had the same issue when I first raised the case with Apple. They told it is something to do with the MDM. Now, what I integrated is now I integrated both Apple and Jamf in the case. In my Apple case, I raised case with Jamf. I raised case with Apple. In Apple, I given the case of Jamf number and what Jamf, because Jamf told it is something to do with Apple, right? And Apple told it is something to do with Jamf. I looped both
you
of
have a
them.
case number. Can you text on that our channel, please?
Yeah, I'll check. So
Yeah.
I now integrated both Jamf and Apple, right? So whatever update I come from Jamf case, I'll putting it in Apple, and then whatever Apple updates, I'm sharing it to Jamf and telling them, okay, you guys are telling it is Jamf, but Apple is not acknowledging it. They're telling it is Jamf issues. So now they are working on it, right? So they told they'll check and come back to us. So you guys need to do the same approach. So raise a case with both Jamf and Apple, but I had the same issue when I raised a case with Jamf. Jamf told Jamf is sending those remote command, but Apple macOS is not acknowledging it. You want to reach out to Apple. And when I raised the case with Apple, Apple told me it is nothing to do with macOS. Jamf is not sending those remote commands. So now I integrated both of them, and then they're looking into it. So I'll urge
Yeah.
you guys. I'm not asking you to completely migrate from your Nudge or Super, but please try it. And then if you
So
found
one
any
thing to be
issues,
clear over here, Sam. One thing want to be clear here. We don't need that any deferral policies for the Mac OS update, right? If you are using DDM.
no, you can choose how you want to in the remote command. You want to do a schedule update. You can choose particular date and time on, or you want to choose it deferral for 5 times, 10 times. That you need to choose how you are going to do that. So when you're sending the remote commands, you have multiple options. You want to, you can select whether you can going to schedule it for the particular date and time. Then user will get a notification
Sorry,
at the
my
end of
bad
the.
actually. No, my bad actually. My question was like policies, right?
Hmm,
Like minor or major, right? Those kind of
hmm,
policies we are using in a software update, right?
hmm.
So if you are using the DDM, I think we should not use that those policies. Otherwise, machines will not get that, a
No,
minor or major. What do you
you
think?
you can also choose which version you want to upgrade. You can specify you want to upgrade only to 13.7, or you want to upgrade to 14.4.1, or you want to upgrade to a machine eligibility. If you choose machine eligibility, then it will upgrade. Which update that machine has, it will upgrade it. Or you can specify the version name, version number, which version you want to upgrade to. Say example, you
Yeah,
have
yeah, I have gone
13.6,
through those.
and then
Yeah,
you
I
can
have gone
specify
through those.
13.6 or 13.7. So the machine will upgrade only to those particular version.
That's true. Those are those features and those options are there in the DDM. I need to deep dive more actually. I was
Yeah,
just curious to know about that how it works because I have tested on a few devices. It works on couple of devices, but not on all.
yeah.
So for that reason, curious to know
So
about
now,
more how it.
yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys are using JAMF. So they have the API is also announced. So you can use an API and see what is the status, whether, so I'll just send those link of APIs in the channel, or I'll ping it here. So you can just go to API and see what is currently happening, whether the device is acknowledged or it is not acknowledged. You can get those information, so it will give you more idea what happening on those devices.
Okay.
So Sham, since you're using this DDM, there's an option, right, to defer it for like you specify the deferral period, like say 3 times, and then what happens? Like after 3 times, it will
It
force
will,
install on that.
yes.
Okay, and then there's also a schedule to install, right? So let's say we give 15 days to, let's say we give allow today's 11. Let's say we give 5-10 days to install, and then
Hmm,
after that specific, it will install it automatically.
yes. So
Okay, so
users
there's
will
not
get the notification, right? So we have seen in our channel, in our previous, user will get a notification once in a day that you have an update to schedule install. At last 24 hours, they'll get a notification for every 1 hour
every
that they
1 hour.
have an, say, suppose your schedule is going to complete tomorrow. In last 24 hours of your schedule end time, user will get a notification for every 1 hour. And then in last 1 hour of your schedule end time, user will get notification for every 10 minutes.
Oh, one
And
hour,
then
last one
in
hour.
in last 1 hour, for every 10 minutes, they'll get a notification. And then at the end of the schedule time, the device is automatically reinstalled
Restore.
and updates will get installed. And suppose the device is offline, and when they are login next time, within they'll have a, what is it, a loan period of 1 hour. Say example, your schedule is ending at today 12 p.m. 11th
Mhm.
May 12 p.m. And then my device it was offline, it was shut down, right? And if I log in on Monday at 9 a.m., I'll get a notification that at 10 a.m. your device will restart and OS will get installed.
Okay, so
So
there's hmm.
yeah,
So either of these options, but not like say in right now what I'm using nudge, say I'm giving them like 4 or 5 deferrals and a period of 15 days. So they
hmm.
either have that 5 deferrals or 15 days whenever whichever they want to do it. So
No,
here I
here you
have to
can
select either
either one.
deferrals
Yes,
yeah, either one. Yeah,
either one.
because
You cannot
uh,
choose both. You need to choose either one. You can choose either deferrals or you can choose the schedule date
so
and time.
that yeah, that will again one
Yeah.
thing. But it
See,
didn't
so
work properly for me, so I didn't actually do it. I tested it
yeah,
with
so
my the notifications and all were not proper.
yeah, to improve it, what you can do is I'm not sure how many of you migrated to device compliance. You can migrate to device compliance and then you can use, what is it? Ensure only the latest version of OS is have access to allowing your Office resource or Microsoft resource. So
Okay.
automatically at the end of the scheduled date and time, if your device is not upgraded, their access will be blocked and then they're forced to upgrade.
Okay, so non-compliant devices won't get it like that.
Yes, so that's, you can migrate to device compliance and then you can create a smart group search. So those devices marked as a non-compliance, and then if they're not upgrading it, and automatically they will lose access to your resource, and then they'll be forced to upgrade it. You can also use those method if your organization has a different idea. So it's just a suggestion. Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyone wants to share anything, or anyone wants to discuss any stuffs, or any questions you guys have? So it is not related. We want to discuss only about JAMF. You can discuss about anything. What are the challenges? What are the issues? Anything else you want to discuss? It is open. It is an open and free forum. You can.
Okay.
So anyone wants to discuss, or anyone wants to share any of your experience of your few your work experience, or the challenges, have you faced, have you overcome anything else? It's completely, the forum is open to all. You want to ask any questions, any challenges, or you had any doubts? Okay, how to do that? How to do this? What happens if you do that? Anything?
Here. Is there any scripting to play the any session? Because I do get a couple of questions around, like max CPU consumption is it's too high, and any session is it's keep on giving the corrupt error message. So is there any like scripting we can do it to clear it out rather than Mac OS? The kernel panic also comes around. So is there any scripting available for that?
Oh, sorry, Akhil. What session you are referring to?
Any session. So example, you're using a Mac and CPU consumption is too much high. And
sorry, you are using?
If you're using a Mac with the latest OS also, and
okay.
Your kernel panic is it keep on spiking in CPU consumption. And there's another error message comes in into activity monitor, any session spiking. So is there any scripting we have available so we can clear those?
Are you talking about the process you want to kill, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah, so manually we can kill it, but if in case it's not with us, is there any scripting or command line we can use to clear it out?
So if I'm not wrong, you want to identify which process using high CPU utilization and kill that process.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think so we have any script, but it is possible. But you want to identify, because that particular process might be a vital process, right? So might be user process. So it might be example, it might be a Teams call, or it might be some vital process which is required for the system. If we kill those processes, then it will affect the user experience, right?
Yeah.
So we need to identify why it is behaving, why that particular process is highly utilizing, and we need to do a root cause analysis, maybe escalate to a vendor, particular application, or even escalate to macOS if it is related to macOS application, and try using the latest version of macOS and see whether it is happening, right? Or it is happening only to a specific model of devices, or it is happening to all, like it might happen to a MacBook Pro or M1 machine or M2 machine. So we need to analyze this, but to identify, say if you want to create a script, you can create it, right? So you can create a top and then get which process is using high CPU utilized, and then you can use a kill command to kill it, but it won't solve your problem. It will suppose example, if your user is using any application which is using high CPU, and then if you kill it in mid of something, user experience will not be good. So we suggest to identify why it is happening and find a root cause, escalate to a particular vendor or Apple, or even JAMF. Sometimes JAMF applications we have seen the JAMF remote assist process is utilizing high CPU, and then JAMF released a newer version to have those. It was a PI was created, and then it was reported to JAMF, PA was created, and JAMF fixed it in the newer version, right? So we need to do those approach instead of killing those process.
Okay. Yeah, because I tried to refresh the MDM also, and it was asking for me the right.
You have any, yes, because sometimes what happens is if you are using any MDM tools, so not MDM tools, if you're using any antivirus tools, so those will be using high CPU utilization.
Yeah, could
right?
be. We have a right now, so could be a problem.
Yeah, they will be using high CPU because we have seen this, it is common, right? So you are not alone. So everyone in the same boat. So sometimes whatever we use different antivirus tool, right? And sometimes those particular process related to the antivirus tool, it will use high CPU utilization. It will try to scan something or it is trying to. So then we need to report to the particular vendor and say it is using high CPU. You want to identify why it is using. Then they might release a newer version to fix it.
Okay. Okay. So is it really necessary to have for me to have the API rights for the user who's logged into that machine, or my Jamf ID is enough to refresh the MDM there? I think that should be fine, right?
No, you don't need. So Jamf is, what does it say? If you want to kill it, Jamf can do it. You can create a script and you can deploy to the machine. Jamf can do it.
Yeah, actually, the MDM was not available in that. It's completely broken. So I had to use the API.
Yeah, then if the MDM is not available, then you want to redeploy a Jamf management. Are you using Jamf or different MDM?
I'm using Jamf only.
Yeah, then you need to use a Jamf deployment tool to redeploy. You need to redeploy the framework. So I don't think so. If you won't able to, you can able to do it via Jamf because already the connection is broken. You do it manually. You need to deploy the redeployment framework, or just try those Jamf routine and see how it works. Because you have an option to redeploy a Jamf management framework for a particular smart group, and you can see how those Jamf routine works. We never tried, so you can try and let us know. But it is not possible from Jamf because of the connection is sometimes you need to understand where the connection is broken, right? It is MDM connection is broken. It means you won't be able to deploy only the profiles, but still you can deploy the policies. So then you can create a script and redeploy the policies and you can do it. Just that you need to understand whether only the profiles is broken, no issues. You can still use policies because you have a Jamf binary installed on all the Mac devices. So you can install it. You can use the policies on and do it, right? But if both the MDM profiles and policies are broken, then you need to do it manually by taking the mission. Either physically you need to go there or taking the mission remote and redeploy the management framework or re-enroll the mission.
Okay. I'll have a look because it was asking me for the API rights, which is required by the accounts which is specified in that Jamf flow.
Okay.
So I'll have. Thanks.
Yeah, so if you're deploying an API, then you need to use API roles and clients. So create an API, what access, maybe it said you need to have enrollment access, computer read access, select those particular access and create an authentication token, and then you can deploy it. So you need to create API roles and clients, and then you can do it.
Sure, I'll have a look on that. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Vinayak. You raised your hand.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks. Yeah. So I have somewhat nearby answer to Akhil's question. Just Akhil asked about
Great.
this redeploy framework,
Yeah.
because I did it in past. Few of the endpoints got like when I was using Jamf, and I was able to do it successfully. But again, the same thing that you said, like we are the intervening into the the system that is remotely. Just the thing is, like one point I would like to add here, it gets redeployed instantly if your system is already there, I mean listed there, no matter whether it is in broken state, no problem. Just the thing is, like, it has to be enrolled using automated device enrollment. That is the first scenario. And second one is the device entry in the Jamf should not have deleted earlier.
Okay. Okay, great.
So in that case, in that case, like using API, even using like web API option, you can redeploy the framework completely. I mean everything, like your MDM profile and policies, everything gets reestablished. It is same like it pushes simply the send the enterprise package command, something like that. It does that, and yes, it reestablishes the connection.
Oh, great. So the web API, you're saying is your Jamf Cloud /API and then selecting the particular
Correct,
API. And
exactly.
setting the,
Correct,
Thanks,
correct.
Vinayak.
There is option. Yeah, I'll put that URL where that documentation is there. So it's very easy via the API that I mean web GUI. Instead of like you putting some commands there, it's easy.
Great. Thank you, Vinay.
Just one thing you need to know, like the device ID should be the correct, which is mentioned there on the Jamf ID. I mean Jamf device, which is listed there on the Jamf. So that should be matching to the what I can say when you are hitting that API. It will be asking you to the enter the device ID. That's it. It will redeploy the framework.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's it. Yeah, second question I have. This is for the Intune. So let me know if anybody has answer or how they are tackling with this, because Jamf is very robust in terms of like the functions and the reporting stuff. Very important. The management requires the reporting like the statistics. Jamf is very good, but Intune is lacking in that functionality. I would like to know like how the people are tackling literally for the reporting stuff. Let's say I have to deploy some application, XYZ application. Let's take an example of like Chrome. If I have to deploy Chrome and I have deployed it on a different regions. So how to get the details, or anybody has got that details by any scripting or using any third-party tool like the location wise user deployment status, because it's really I have tried like Power BI and everything, like nothing works.
Yeah, so Intune doesn't have those capability yet. So can also raise a case, product future case with Intune. Intune really lacks in that. Doesn't have any reporting
So many things are
capabilities.
lacking still.
Yeah.
Because reporting is something that I'm literally have to do, like export the data and then again like do pivot tables, this Excel work. No, this is big no and big time consuming stuff.
Yeah.
So if anybody has like any workaround, any solution, or any third party tool in our community, just wish to know.
Let me check. I don't remember anything on the phone, but maybe you can ask this question also in the MacAdmins Intune channel in LinkedIn.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna ask it because anyways, like that's the big hurdle that I have seen. Like management every time asks at the 11th hour, what is the data status region wise or area wise? It's really hard.
Yeah. But Jamf is good in it. You can create a reporting and integrate with fewer dashboards, like different dashboards, and then you can show those data. But Intune doesn't has those capability yet. But one thing Intune has evolved a lot in the past. So hope Intune will evolve more and give a tough competition to Jamf.
I hope so. Because it's kind of like taking their feet on multiple devices, multiple platforms, I would say.
Yeah.
They're onto Android, iOS, Intune, everywhere. So let's see.
So let me check. I remembered, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it is related to Intune, but I've seen somewhere that you have some reporting to get those application installation details and all the stuff. So let me check. If I found something, I will post it in our Telegram channel.
Yeah, sure. There is a reporting user and device wise, but the problem is like that is a consolidated report. It's not a location wise. That's the
Okay.
problem. We need to segregate those according to the locations.
Okay. So I think
That's the
Intune
big issue.
doesn't have those capability to add kind of extension attributes to collect additional information like how we have in JAMF 2. I'm not sure whether Intune
No,
has
no,
those. Okay, no.
no. Manually, you can't put anything. Everything fetches from the Azure AD
Yeah.
or
Okay.
Entra ID. Yeah.
Okay. So what parameter Intune collects, it collect only that we cannot able to force it to collect additional parameters.
Yes, and also I have seen like there is and under the reporting there is an option which I was just checking with, just like playing with around. So they have like called under the reporting option they have Intune data warehouse URL. So whereas you can utilize this URL and sign in using your administrative account to get and
Okay.
fetch the data. But the problem is the parameter is required to get the location is not there, then the user ID instead of like the human readable user ID, they are giving the user UUID, unique user
Okay.
identifier. That is alphanumeric numbers. That
Okay.
is we generally get in Windows.
Okay.
So this SID and UUIDs are of no use, even though
Mhm.
application has the same thing. Like you need to do some advanced Power BI stuff, and then you can able to get. It's not that easy.
Okay.
So the application is also the same thing. Like you need to kind of like do this data engineering stuff, like you need to assign that keys to different kind of like things you need to it's kind of like a database stuff.
Okay. So last week we discussed, or last meeting we discussed about app deployment via Intune. So I got some few links. I'm not sure whether it will be useful for you guys using Intune. Just please have a look into it. And then, so it is specifically for people using Intune, and then have a look into this blog. So he's creating some few blogs on how to manage macOS via Intune. So it
Great.
might be useful.
So you pinged in our chat.
Yeah, I pinned in this chat.
Thanks.
So I'm not sure whether it
Thanks,
is
Shyam.
useful, but yeah, you can get at least few information on it.
Yeah, a couple of blog I've seen. Hope so. I'll write my own blog post here now on this sooner.
Yeah. So I think now we have a dedicated group for MacAdmins using Intune, Microsoft MacAdmins. I guess I'm not wrong. The name, what the name it is in LinkedIn, we have a group. So there are plenty
Yeah,
of people
they
who are
moved it.
using. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are using macOS, managing macOS via Intune, Microsoft MacAdmins. So yeah, it has a couple of. I think I'm not sure how many people they have. They have more than 2,000 members. So you can just post
Yes,
your
they moved
query
it from the
from the Yammer
Mhm.
to Viva Engage to LinkedIn. So,
LinkedIn. Yeah, correct.
so you can just post it. You will get. There are a lot of it. It is a very active group. I can see at least it is not ghost. So it is active group. So there are people posting it and then they're getting reply, and so maybe you can post your queries and then someone. So it is not only your problem, right? So it is all the problem people using Intune. So everyone will have the same problem, and some bright mind in some other corner of the world might have solution for it, or they might have some tips for you how to do that.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, let's see how it works. Because the
Yeah.
funniest part I've seen of that community is like uh, the folks from the app, like Microsoft, they are there. Like, but unfortunately, whatever the roadmap they are presenting for the last 6 months,
Hmm.
it's not been yet completed. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
I can see because they announced a couple of months back, they announced the platform SSO in public preview and then they reverted back to private preview and then now again they announced it to public preview. Yeah, but I think they too have few challenges. but I hope. But they evolved a lot. Intune is evolved a lot previously. In last couple of years, they evolved a lot. They introduced a lot of new features for managing macOS. So I guess they're really showing interest on capable of managing macOS as well via Intune. A couple of years back, maybe 3-4 years back, nothing is there in Intune. So now you have a lot of stuff. Previously, we weren't able to do a scripting and a lot in Intune and a lot of stuff. Now it is a lot of things evolved. I guess maybe in the future, because that is a tough competition for Jamf, right? The licensing part organization will have already a license integrated with their own for the Windows environment, and then they can easily utilize Intune for managing macOS. So when you have a tough competitors, you will get more and more innovative products and more innovative ideas, and then your tools also will enhance when you have tough competition between tools. But I can see there are a lot of MDM tools coming up nowadays. We have Katanji, we have Fleet, we have Intune. There are a lot of MDM tools we have nowadays, right? And then they're creating a tough competition. Previously, we need to rely only on Jamf. We don't have any other tools, but
Yes.
now we have a lot of tools coming up in the market, and they are giving a tough competition. So it is healthy, right? So when we have tough competition, because in between the vendors, and then the tools also will get improved, and then the healthy competition. We'll see how it goes in the near future. We seen yesterday,
So
right? So we seen the fleet. So it use those auto schedule update. It automatically finds using our AI tool, and automatically finds which when your calendar is free, creating an event, and then installing your OS on the particular time. It is a great user experience, right? So someone will be free in some time, but nowadays what we're doing is we are ensuring every machine is restarting in particular time. But if it restarts in different time based on user availability, then it is a great tool. Anyone
Yes,
else have any question? Anything you want to share? Anything you want to discuss? Please feel free. It is an open forum for you guys.
hey, hi Sham. This is Ashish here.
Hi, Ashay.
Uh, a query around the packaging stuff. We do a lot day in day out. There's some apps which is
Yeah,
quite
for you, you
strange.
have a good news, right? Microsoft announced roadmap on June 2024. They have something for packaging DMGs, unmanaged
Yeah,
apps.
we are
You
very
have,
minimal on Intune, I think, and not much as what Vinayak was sharing. I think we are still exploring it and with very minimal set of devices on Intune. So uh, we are yet to see that challenge coming from the management asking for the reports, but it would be quite helpful if we, get those features. And thanks
yeah,
for the links which you shared for the packaging stuff. I think I'll go through it once.
yeah.
Uh, and the challenge with the packaging, what I see, a few things, what we try to package in recent
If I'm
times.
not wrong, all the packages which you're using in Intune should be signed, right?
Yeah, it's not with the Intune actually what we have a challenge. It's
Hmm.
especially through Jamf what we push. So these packages is something like you have heard of Maya software. I think it's quite large in size and it's something
Okay,
design
okay,
software and
okay,
these software when we try to automate, I mean, zero touch, the end user perspective where we don't want them to, enter any passwords or, admin credentials to approve some helper tools to install. So as soon as we push from Jamf, it does install the package. I mean, the main app gets installed. But when they
hmm.
launch these apps, uh, there will be an additional helper tool will prompt them to, install with the app itself. So, but
Okay,
what the problem there is, they need to click on OK. When it clicked on OK, and they allow to enter the admin passwords, not the standard user
okay,
credentials it will accept to install the helper tool. So
okay.
this is quite strange. I don't know. We got it in a queue,
Yeah,
all these apps.
yeah. Did
Like
you did you tried what is it? Composer to you can do a scan in a custom package. Like you tried that in Composer.
we did try to
So,
suppress the. prompt.
No. How did you created those package?
These are not too much modified. This doesn't need any post install or pre-install, but with the
Okay. What in Composer you have an option called new and modified snapshot. So what it does is, so you need to quit all your application in your machine.
Right.
Okay. Open Composer. And then click on new. You have option called new and modified snapshot. I'm not sure whether it works, but normally in some scenarios we will do it. So I'll explain you what, when you click on new and modify snapshot, what the Composer will do is it will take a snapshot of the entire file system.
Right.
Okay. And then you need to install your app, whatever app you need. You install this app and then open it. And then it will prompt for the helper application. Again, put your username and password, install the helper application. And whatever you want to do, if you want to do some configurations, changes, or whatever installer helper application you want to install it, and then again come back to Composer and do one more snapshot. So so when you're doing a new and modified snapshot, it will say, okay, now the new snapshot is completed. It will give you a prompt. Okay, now go ahead and install your application. Install the application. Once you install the application, again come back to Composer and do one more snapshot. So now what the Composer will do is it will analyze the difference between the previous snapshot, which is your file system, without installing the application, and then after installing an application, and then it will compare what changes has happened, what new files are added, and then it will give you a list. Right. So when you see those lists, there will be a lot of files which is not related to this particular application. There might be a system files also make changes during those interaction. So you can uncheck those files. Right. And then you can keep only the files which is required for your particular application, and then you can create a package. So when you install those packages, there are some chances that because the installer helper file is already installed, right? So when you do a snapshot, it's already captured. So you can try those method of creating a package and see whether it is helping you in this case. By capturing a snapshot before installing application and after installing an application. So normally what in Composer we will do is we'll just pull the package inside the Composer. We will add post install a script, but you have other options as well. So that option is whatever option I told you. It was previously long ago. It was we all used, because whenever, say example, whenever we want to deploy a Google Chrome, and then and it should have those what is it? When you open it, should have the home page of organization. You should have to install some extension previously inbuilt. All the stuff we need to have those features. So now normally what we'll do is we'll install Google Chrome. We'll make all those changes. We'll mark those home page. We'll install extension again. We'll create a snapshot, and then we'll deploy it again. And then so once we install those packages, all the configurations will be there. So we don't need to do additional configuration like setting a home page, installing other extensions, or we may add a bookmarks, and all those things we will do, and we will do it on those time where we doesn't have those configuration profiles for modifying those Chromes and all the stuff. We used to do that. You can try those method whether it helps you. So it has a new and modified snapshot, and then there is some I'm not sure. There are some files as well. I'll ping you. So it will help you. It will help you to understand what files are modified. It will give you kind of a file structure, kind of a binary tree. Okay, what files are modified during, suppose it will helpful when you're doing some troubleshooting, and also helpful in this case. So when you're making some changes, an application will give you what files are currently modified. So you can able to see all those file names, and then you can able to see, okay, this files are getting modified. So might be this issues will be related to this files, and then you can go ahead and look into it. That is an application. I forgot this name. I'll look into it, and then I will share it to you.
Yeah. One thing what we noticed to fix this initially was to when we click on cancel, it did work with a couple of applications. It never prompted them even after the reboot of the device. So what we made a changes on self-service display is we alerted them saying they're supposed to click on cancel, even though they're standard users. So this did help with a couple of applications, but there's something called Signal app. It's a chat messenger app. So recently we were going through it, and even it has a similar issue. We haven't tried the snapshot recently for this one, But let me see if it helps. But what happens is the next step for upgrade would be through auto packager. So when we push the next version, I think the helper tool again, if it prompts, then the manual method only will have to go taking a snapshots and all that.
Yeah.
So to fix this, Signal community suggested to place the app in the user applications folder instead of a system application.
Okay.
But we didn't get an approval from security because the patching would be a problem when we the user applications. We will not know. I mean, every manual effort will come in again for every month upgrades. So it will be quite a challenge.
Did you guys try installer meter?
Not in place right now.
Just
For
try
this.
installer meter, then you don't need and create a package again and again and again. So it will automatically just check whether what are the application you are using. It is so installer meter
We
has
have an auto packager in place where we
you
add
don't-
templates and
okay.
recipes.
Yeah. So what installer meter will do is, so it will download an application from internet from the source.
Right. Okay.
And then install on your machine. So you don't need to create a package.
Okay.
So every time you install, you will install the latest version. So you are installing application now, it will install version 1. So after 1 month, if there is a version 10, you will install it, it will install version 10. So when you're installing what is latest on that particular time, it will install. And then using installer meter, you can also manage those patches. So we can auto update those application. Installer meter closely has 850 or 900 applications libraries. So what you need to do is the installer meter script and what application you want to install on the parameter, and then you can install it. So you don't need to have auto package. You don't need to create the packages again and again and again, right? So installer meter will do it for you, but it depends. So it is very secure. What the installer meter will do is, so each application will have a team identifier.
Okay.
Right? Each application will have a team identifier. So it will verify what is it? It runs the command to check. Suppose your example you're installing, say, consider Signal or WhatsApp. So this WhatsApp will have a team identifier because those apps are notarized by Apple, and then there will be a team identifier.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so those will be available in installer meter, right? What is the team identifier? WhatsApp. It will be available in installer meter, and when you download the WhatsApp from internet, it will check the team identifier of the application which is downloaded from internet, and if both the team identifier matches, then only the application will get installed.
Installer meter and the auto packager looks totally different. I mean, it works totally.
Yeah, because installer meter, it is downloads everything from internet.
Okay, so it needs to be running on the edge, I mean the endpoint, and it will only take care of all the applications, which is part of an installer meter repository, say 900 apps.
Yes. Say example, you have application called Google Chrome. You have Edge. You have Firefox. You have Postman. There are a lot of applications, right? What normally we will do is, so whenever a new version release, we will recreate a package, or auto package will do it for you. Right?
Okay.
It will download the repository, and then auto package will automatically create a package and store it in repository, and then upload it to your distribution point. And then whenever user downloads something, it will go and download from the distribution points.
Yeah.
Right? But installer meter, what it will do is you don't need an auto package. So you just need that script. So it will, whenever user install, it will automatically goes to a Google site, download a Google web browser and install on the machine. But again, it depends on your organization, how you want to utilize it. Right? So some organization will have less bandwidth, so every time they cannot depend on internet to download some stuff. Because when you're using auto package, it is stored in your internal repository. That internal distribution point will be your internal network. It will download and install it. So it won't goes to internet. So it depends on organization how you want to use it, but have look into it how the installer meter works. So you can compare, and then if you feel okay, it is good, you can propose into your management and see how it takes. Not you cannot replace all the apps, right? But some common apps we have, you don't need to create a package again and again and again using auto package and all the stuff. So there are some standard apps like what I said, like Postman, Google Chrome, yes, Firefox, Microsoft application, Teams. So installer meter classically had 900 library application libraries. So just have a look into it, how it helps you. But again, the difference is it will downloads every time from internet and install it, but it has a security to verify because when the security team will tell us if something download from internet, it might have a security issues, it have a man in middle attack, and then there might be a modification, but installer will verify the team identifier, and then if it is matches, then only it will install. If it doesn't match, it won't install.
Okay, got it.
So
Yeah.
that is the additional security method which installer has. So you can look into it and then see if it suits for your organization, you can propose it. Or if you find okay, it does not suits, but you gain some knowledge and then you can utilize it somewhere for a new client or somewhere else.
Yeah, got it. Sure. I'll
Yeah.
do review this and explore it once. Let's see how it works, and the repository of apps which has probably will check on that. Yeah, sure.
So
What's the
last,
first take on platform SSO, Sham, on your side?
you guys need to tell us, because you guys are using Intune. You guys are expert in Intune, because it is available only on Intune. It is not available for other MDMs as of now. So
As of now,
you guys please test it and let us know how it works. What is the experience? Please let us know.
As of now, what I see is it still doesn't take out the requirement of JAMF Connect or any other tools like Nomad. No, not Nomad. I mean any other online tool like JAMF Connect. It still needs to be evolved a little more. Probably once logged in, I think it needs a company portal integration there, right? So
Yes.
let's say I mean had to do a troubleshoot on it and had to try it on the environment. Let me see that once and probably then I can comment.
Yeah. Hi, Vinayak. You have something to add?
Yes. So again, the same point, like I'm continuing to the Ashay's point. That's the platform SSO or PSSO. So that's still a buggy, I would say. It's not up to the mark. I have tested it earlier when it was in private review, and that was bit of like I would say it's still lagging on the functions and features. Likewise, sync of the password. It again acts like the same like Jamf Connect, because I deployed Jamf Connect as well before.
Okay.
So not a competitor, not a big competitor, or I would say not a compare. You can't compare it even. So the bad thing that I have seen there is like it keep nagging for every time, like password. Sometimes it faces the glitch. It again asks the password or your SSO password. I mean, enter ID password.
Okay.
To be in sync with the password of your online IDP.
Okay.
But a login screen experience was good at the first time because it never given us any issues as such. And also, yes, it requires as a MDM part, it requires it to be enrolled with it works. I mean, great if it is the device is enrolled with zero touch deployment, or I would say automated device enrollment.
Okay.
So yeah, and the first part, what Ashay said is like Maya, which is a software of Autodesk. It is a 3D designing software. So I would say again the same thing, like that needs to be deployed later as a to kind of like close down or shorten down the automated device enrollment process, not to make it bulky, cause it may cause like slower user slower the process, and user experience might not great.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of stuff I have seen like over the internet, which they are doing like curl, doing some shell scripting and pushing that, using that directly automatically fetching up from the portal or the source side.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Vinayak. Okay, so we are almost past our time. So one last question or one thing to discuss. So anyone has anything?
Nothing from me. Thanks, Shaman. Good night for
Thank
that
you all.
input.
Then we'll wind up. So we'll meet either in our next tech session or on our next monthly session. Thank you all. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.